Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Bio. Welcome back once again to another review video, whatever you want to call these things, right? Today I'm talking about another SIMPLE2000 series game, just because that's how it worked out. Again, I'm just going alphabetically at this point. And that game is Covert Command. Now, I did try another SIMPLE2000 series game, which was Car Racing Challenge, and I just found that game boring, so I ended up doing a short on my channel for it, and then that was enough. So I only finished the first mission there. But with Covert Command, I initially remember playing this game for, you know, for this channel back when I was doing like the SIMPLE2000 series set videos, and not liking the game. But now, after actually playing through the entire game, and probably the first, I'd say not the first person to do so, but at least the first person on the internet to do so, because there's no playthrough, which I'm planning to put up. I'm planning to put my entire playthrough, obviously somewhat edited, on Biotex, with no commentary. So I'm also planning to, if I can get the music from the game, I will, but there isn't that much music, at least from what memory serves me, so... And it's not very, in my opinion, it's not very good music. It does get very draining at times, so... But let's go into the usual stuff that I normally go into when talking about a game. So, Covert Command. It's developed by Tamsoft. Yes, that Tamsoft. It's published by Essential Games, and it was released in September 28th, 2007 in Europe. In Japan, it was published by D3, and it came out in Japan in August 2006. It's known in Japan as the SIMPLE2000 series Vol.102, the Hohei Senjou no Tachi. The game was also ported to the Nintendo DS under the Simple DS series line as Volume 21. So let's go into what Covert Command is as a story. There really is none. You're basically told that you're a soldier during World War II, and you're fighting. And I guess you're fighting, again, quote unquote, the Japs. Again, I mean that in the context of the time period. So you're fighting the Japanese. Considering all the enemy soldiers reply in Japanese, so yeah. So yeah, you play as whatever the game chooses to give you a name, because it's interesting because the very opening scene of the game is literally copy and pasted from, I believe, the movie Full Metal Jacket, with the sergeant walking in and saying, "You are a maggot. You will amount to nothing. I'm gonna call you SpaghettiOs. What's your name, son? It's James, sir. Well, I don't like the name James. I'm gonna call you SpaghettiOs from now on." That entire scene basically happens because I put my name in as Bio, and it gave me the name... what was it? I'm trying to remember now. Something Pack Rat. Why is it like, if I'm outside of the video, it's funny that all I'm saying is it's funny outside of the video for me to vaguely remember what my name is. Vaguely remember what my name is. So yeah. So it takes place like in between 1939 and 1941, right? So you're just a dude. So I'm trying to see what name he gives me, because I forget. So... No, that's not the name he gives me. That is not the game he gives me. Sorry about this. Pack Rat Jarhead, the most army name that someone can give someone. There you go. So that was the name I was given. Pack Rat Jarhead. And that name literally means nothing. I'm not even joking. It means nothing. I don't even know why that is even a feature in the game. And then after that, you go into the main menu of the game, which is simply selecting missions. There's a total of... I don't know what's happened there. There's a total of 6 levels in the game. Each level has 5 missions. So you have a total of, what, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 missions. There's 30 missions in the game. And they range from being fairly easy to frustrating to the fuck is this shit. So, but there is ways to cheese, so you don't have to worry. There is ways to cheese quite a few of the missions. So yeah, so the missions can range from like you going like go along the street, attacking each enemy, kill all the enemies. While killing, that's one mission. Then another mission will be kill the enemies, but also you got to kill this command base. Also, you got to kill this tank. Also, you got to collect important documents. Also, you got to go and rescue your allies. Luckily, there's no actual escort missions in this game, by the way. And then the rescue allies is literally go up to them, have a conversation with them, and then they disappear, and then that's either mission over or you have to go back to your home base or, you know, your temporary base. So the missions have a very simple structure, and that's brilliant because it's a simple series game. I expect it to have a simple structure and don't want anything too complicated. And then we go into let's talk about the gameplay, right? Let's talk about the gameplay itself. Right now, right? I'll talk about the music in a bit. The gameplay is janky as fuck. I'm not even joking. It is some of the jankiest stuff I've seen, to be honest with you. The camera just wants to follow wherever you're facing. So if you're under fire and you're trying to run away from the enemy, guess what's going to happen? The camera's going to have a seizure and just go all over the place. And who knows where the enemy's firing you from? You're just going to have to run, get behind cover, and then adjust your camera, adjust your position to try and figure out where they are. So the camera is absolutely horrendous, but hey, it's Tamsoft. We know they don't know how to program a proper camera, especially back in the time when they were making PlayStation 2 games. That's for damn well sure. So I'm not surprised there, to be honest with you. So then you have the rest of the thing. So you use the analog stick to move. The X button allows you to go into a crouch stance. If you hold the X button, you'll go into prone. I really didn't use prone throughout the entire game. Like one or two occasions, I might have used it because there's like one or two missions that spawn you right in front of enemies, which is really frustrating. So you need a prone immediately because it's harder for them to hit you while you're prone, and also the range in which the enemy can see you is reduced when you're in prone. That's why you play the entire game crouched, in my opinion. So then after that, you've got the square button, which throws grenades, which took me a little while to get used to, if I'm honest with you. The circle button, which picks up items and also uses a melee attack, which I never used. You have like a knife, and you can even get like a sword and a katana kind of thing in the game, right? Never used it. It went straight into my weapons locker and never used it whatsoever. I'll get into the weapons locker in a bit, the equipment and all that. The triangle button, if I remember correctly, does this like dodge roll, which I didn't really use much. The only time it was worth using was when you're being attacked by a tank, because basically a tank would be able to lock onto you very quickly, and you'll know when the tank was about to hit you with one of its shells, because a red circle would appear around you, like a big red range circle showing the range of that tank shell. And when that happened, if you dodged roll, it gave you a little bit of a invincibility frames, at least I think it did, which allowed you to just ignore the tank blast, the shell basically. So yeah. Then you have the R1 button, which shoots. You have the R2 button, which reloads the weapon, but you'll reload anyway once you run out of ammo. And you got to be careful, because you can just reload a full gun and lose an ammo clip. So I very rarely use the R2 button, if I was honest with you. Only when I had like one bullet left in the chamber and I was like, yeah, I can't be bothered to wait. I've got loads of enemies to fire and I don't want to alert all of them to my position. By just shooting the one. So that's when I would reload the gun to full and shoot. But that was the only time I really used the R2 button, if I'm honest with you. Then you have the L1 and the L2 button. So the L1 button, if I remember correctly, I'm trying to remember what the L1 button does, to be honest with you. I don't really think I used it much. That's really going to bother me. It's not coming to me for some reason. I don't write, by the way, I don't write anything down. This is non-scripted. I'm just going based off memory. The L2 button does like a manual aim, so you'll go into this manual aim mode. Very useful for sniper rifles in the game. And also you'll get a machine gun later in the game, which has the same range as a sniper rifle. So then why bother using the sniper rifle? Just use the machine gun. It has more ammo capacity. So yeah, which was fun. That was good fun. So yeah, I can't remember what the L1 button does, so I'm apologize. I can't help that. My save file is going to get uploaded to GameFAQs anyway. My username on GameFAQs is BioBlame, so if you want to look up my save files, they'll be on there. Currently, there's only Cart Kings, but I am also going to put up my save file for a Covert Command, so around about the time when I release this video. So that is pretty much most of the controls. The D-pad, you use the left and right on the D-pad to cycle through your weapons. You can also use up on the D-pad to bring up a weapon wheel. I never used the weapon wheel. I pressed it by accident a couple of times and during combat, which just stops you. You can't move when you've got the weapon wheel open, by the way, which is just, of course you can't tam soft. Of course that's not something you'd think that I would need to be able to do while being on open fire. Someone's firing at me. So brilliant. So I didn't really use the weapon wheel. I just cycled through weapons as I was running around, evading enemy fire if I needed anything. So let's go over the equipment. So before you start a mission, you'll be brought to this screen which shows you like equipment. It will show you what equipment you have on your body and what stuff you have in like your weapons locker or at the base. I don't know what it is. It doesn't really say. It's just equipment. That's all. And you do get a range of weapons, which is cool. Certain enemies as well, if they're special enemies, will have a little conversation with you and give you a weapon if you've got enough weight capacity. Yeah, that's a feature. Weight capacity, you can't carry all the weapons on you. You can only bring certain things, which adds a level of strategy to it, I will admit. That's absolutely fine, but it can be a bit frustrating at times. I personally think any weapon that you pick up while in the mission should just like go to this like secondary like weight capacity thing, and you can't use it on that weapon on that mission. You have to wait until after the mission, because the final mission in the game, the final boss drops this weapon which is really heavy. I literally dropped 18 kilograms off of me to try and pick the weapon up, and it still wouldn't pick it up. So I was like, oh, okay. So I didn't get this weapon because I couldn't be bothered to do the final mission again, because the final mission is you have to fight a giant tank. I managed to cheese it, but I don't really want to fight it again, to be honest with you. And then you have to fight the final boss. The giant tank's not the final boss, by the way. Which the final boss was easy. I just sniped him. I literally I had a sniper rifle with a range of 60 meters, and I just shot him 4 times with a sniper rifle, and he didn't even react. He went, shot at me a few times, realizing that, oh, his weapon's not got high enough range to even hit me. And yeah, and that was that. He died. So yeah, and then with the equipment thing, you know, I had a lot of pistols at the end of the game, a lot of machine guns, and yeah, you get some as rewards for completing missions, and you also can get some from enemy drops. Certain enemies will drop equipment. It can be grenades, it can be ammo, it can be a lot of anything really. Health, rations. I'll get to the rations in a minute. It could be bladed, melee weapons. It could be pretty much anything that they drop. And, you try and pick up everything you can, but sometimes your weight capacity is not enough to be able to pick it up, which is a shame. But it's not really a massive deal because there's no RNG in the game. You can repeat. I tried this with one mission. I repeated the mission about 3 or 4 times and found that the same enemies drop the same items all 4 times. So if you happen to miss a weapon or something, and an enemy will drop that weapon, you could just and you haven't got the weight capacity, you could just redo the mission again with less stuff and go and collect it. So it's not really a big issue there. And the missions don't take long anyway, generally speaking, unless they're making you go down this long corridor and shoots a lot of enemies. It's not that bad. So yeah. So you got to watch your weight. But you also have to watch your stamina as well. There's a stamina meter. Your guy has a stamina meter in the game. Yes. Is it cringe? Yes. Is it cancerous? Yes. Does it need to be in the game? No. It is a feature. It's the one feature in the entire game which adds nothing to the game besides making things frustrating. That is it. Right, just imagine having a stamina meter in the Oni-chan-bara games. You'd be so frustrated. You'd have to fight a bunch of zombies and stop and stand for 5 minutes before you can go to the next area to wait for the stamina meter to go back up. That's what this game is. You'll fight a bunch of enemies and then, because you have to do, let's say you're on one of the missions where you have to do a lot of walking, right? As you're walking, your stamina meter goes down. No matter whether you're walking normally, you're in crouch or prone. What I do know is if you're walking, your stamina meter goes down less. If you're crouched, it goes down slightly more, and if you're prone, it goes down a lot. And you're not really making much distance, are you, in prone? And you're just crawling along the ground. So the stamina meter is really, really annoying, and you can mitigate this by using rations, but you don't really get rations that much until like halfway through the game. So by that point, you've kind of adjusted to the stamina bullshit, and you just wait. You'd rather just, instead of bringing rations with you and wasting your weight of your character, you'd rather just stand and wait for the stamina meter to go back to full and then continue the level. So I very rarely used ration packs. Health kits, on the other hand, I used quite a lot of. I played through the entire game on normal difficulty, and to start off with, enemies could kill you in like 4 hits to start off with, so you had to be very careful. But as you complete missions, you get experience, and as you get experience, you level up in rank. I started as obviously a private, and I leveled when I beat the game, I was first lieutenant, which I don't think in any way, shape, or form is the highest rank you can get. Probably general, I'd imagine. Maybe, or commander, or I don't know. But maybe because I didn't have to repeat levels so much. But there is an easy option. If you, at the very beginning of the game, if you go into, without loading the game, you go into options, you can change the difficulty to easy. So normal's just default. I didn't realize this until after I got reasonably adjusted to the normal difficulty. So I was like, it's fine. I can just finish the game on normal. So, yeah. When you level up and rank up, well, not always, yeah. So when you level up, you rank up, and also you get experience points. You get 4 of them that you can put into 4 stats. Those stats are, if I remember correctly, shooting, which very helpful description that is. Combat, also a very helpful description. Life, well, I can figure that one out on my own, thanks. And the strength. Strength is your weight capacity. So the more points you put into strength, the more stuff you'll be able to carry. Life is self-explanatory. You can tank more hits. I happen to max out my health in the playthrough. No surprise there. Combat, I think, is linked to your stamina. I don't have the manual to hand, so I think it's linked to your stamina. So I did actually max my combat, by the way, as well, in the game, in the hopes to make my stamina better. I think it did. It's hard to say. I'd have to go back and look at footage from when I first started playing to literally the final mission of the game to see really if there was any difference. And then shooting, I don't know if that just made you more proficient with your gun or slightly increased the range of each of your guns. I have no clue. Not a Scooby-Doo. I don't think it increased the range of your guns, to be honest with you. Maybe the proficiency, so you missed less hits, but with a pistol, you didn't really miss a hit. It was only the machine gun you missed hits with, and the sniper rifle, you never missed a hit either, as long as you were aiming correctly, and you didn't have some stupid bullshit blocking the way. Because that's one other thing. Hitboxes around vehicles, especially damaged vehicles, you could see an enemy through a vehicle, mind you, through a vehicle, and have the sniper rifle scope the crosshair right on his head, shoot, and it wouldn't do anything. It would just hit the the car, the vehicle. You'll even see the little indent on the head. You'll see the indent on the head. It's because there's just a big square hitbox around the car. So it's like, okay, I have to go around the car to hit him. Fantastic. Even though I can see him through the car because it's damaged. The car is like damaged and it's like half the car is missing. Fantastic. So yeah. So that is basically everything covered with the game. Like I said, most of the missions are reasonable. There was a few missions that were just frustrating more than anything. Around about the halfway point of the game doesn't really give you a sniper rifle yet. And there's this mission where a sniper rifle is required. But unless you had a keen eye, you wouldn't have noticed that, oh wait, one of the previous missions, a dude drops a sniper rifle, but I didn't have too much weight on me to be able to pick it up last time. So luckily I was able to go back and get that sniper rifle, but still didn't stop it from being kind of annoying. I was like, oh, okay, it would have been nice for you to give me a sniper rifle. And guess what? Right? I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, it was like the second to last or the last mission before moving on to another level. When I completed that level, which I think it was level 3, it gave me a sniper rifle as a reward, which I thought was like a big fuck off to me, big fuck you. It was fucking annoying. So there is RPGs in the game as well, by the way, and yeah, I mainly used it against tanks. So. There is one mission in the game which is absolutely and utterly cancerous, which has you fight not only ground troops, just, you know, infantry with guns, but 3 tanks. Actually, is that? Am I thinking of the right mission? No, it's fine. There's 2 missions in the game that are frustrating. There's one where you have to fight a singular tank, and there's a load of ground troops. Basically, the strats there is run, get to the where in the range of the tank, let the tank fire at you, dodge that shell by using your dodge roll, then get even closer, fire 2 shells at the tank to destroy it. Or in this case, fire 1 shell and a grenade, because grenades can destroy tanks. And there's one of the later levels in the final, like level 6 is the final level of the game with the five stage. I think it was the third from last, or the second, no, it's the third from last stage, had a tank. But you could get in a position where the tank wouldn't even aim at you, and you just throw grenades over the obstacle that was blocking the tank's view of you, and you just destroyed the tank that way, so that was easy. But there is a mission, the most annoying mission of the game, which allows you to... the most annoying mission of the game, that has you fight 3 tanks at once. It's very, very annoying. Very, very annoying. Because... there isn't really much cover, and the cover doesn't really do anything, mind you. I've had a tank shell hit a car in front of me and still kill me, but I've also had a tank shell hit a tree and not kill me. So who knows what exactly how the tank shells really work? I'm talking like the red range circle was completely on top of me, but the tank shell happened to hit the tree that was right next to me, and I did no damage to me whatsoever. Not a clue. Not a Scooby-Doo. So, yeah. So, yeah, that was the most annoying mission in the game. Strategy there is just go far to the right, take down the first tank with a shell. At that point in the game, I only had, like, a 1 rocket launcher, which gives you a free reload, and, like, 2 shells. So basically, don't miss was the answer there. I still had to use a grenade just to barely take down the last tank, but I managed to do it. But that was about it in terms of like annoying missions. So what else is there to say? Music is very, very annoying. It's very typical military music, right? What you'd expect, but there's the variety of tracks is very minimal. And the tracks aren't really like... they're not like Buccaneers tracks where they're like, yeah, they really get you into the game. They're more just background music. They don't really serve much purpose. You're hearing the main menu... not the main menu, but the mission select theme in the background of me recording this video, right, is the background note music. And I'm hearing it again and again, and it just gets grating after a while, because it's a lot of like the same beats again and again. A lot of repetition in the music. And a lot of similar instruments or similar beats, I guess. I don't know, similar melodies. And the music just grinds on you eventually. But, you know, I got through it in the end. Now, how long did the game take me to beat? It said it took me 153 minutes, which is helpful, isn't it? So if I put in 153 minutes into hours, let's see what it gives me. I don't know why the music just... oh no, the music's just having a moment. It's because I've got the game on in the background. So it took me just under 3 hours to beat the game. 2 hours and 55 minutes, according to Google, with a translation of 153 minutes. So there you go. It took me 3 hours to beat the game. So it's not a very long game. So you'll be fine. You'll be fine if you want to have a quick play through it. I think it's definitely a good game in the sense of if you want to speed run. Definitely, I think it'd be quite a good game to speed run. But besides that, yeah, it's an okay game. It has jank, and the jank is manageable once you get used to it. But at the same time, the game does have issues. It does reek of a budget game, and you know it could have done with having a few tweaks here and there. And who knows, the DS version might have those tweaks. I don't know. I don't know what the DS version is like. I don't even think I even played the DS version back in the day because I handpicked select DS games and I wanted to go with ones that weren't ports of already existing games. So, all in all, you know, it's an alright game. It's fine. You know, if I gave it one of my BioLize ratings, it would be mixed feelings. I have mixed feelings towards the game. You know, there's elements of it I think are fine, but there is a lot of jank there. And they could improve upon it quite a bit. You know, I would love to see this character appear in a D3 Publisher All-Stars game. Not a clue what the character's name would be, but hey, I've added him to my, you know, Oni-Chanbara Z3 Infinity bullshit character list that I've made. It includes Buccaneer, but he's easy. Just call him Buccaneer. I called him the Veteran in this because I think that's a good name for him, considering, like, again, 1 man versus 3 tanks. Yeah, Veteran. I think it's a good name. But yeah, that's all I've got to say about Covert Command. I hope you've enjoyed the video of me just ranting on about the game. Again, give it a go yourself if you fancy. It's one of those games where I'd say just try it if you want. Again, my save file is on Game FAQs. Go and download it, put it in PCSX2, have a little mess around with some of the missions. Go for it. I've been Bio. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.